Mitch McConnell's lone opposition, a deep dive into the implications of his no vote on Tulsi Gabbard's confirmation. Introduction. The confirmation of Tulsi Gabbard to a key government position has sparked significant discourse within the political landscape, particularly following Mitch McConnell's unexpected vote against her confirmation. This report aims to explore the various dimensions surrounding this event, focusing on the implications of McConnell's dissent, the political dynamics at play, and the broader ramifications for both the Republican Party and Gabbard's future. Background on Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard, a former U.S. representative from Hawaii, has been a polarizing figure in American politics. Known for her progressive stance on many issues, she gained national prominence during her presidential campaign in 2020, where she positioned herself as an outsider challenging the establishment. Gabbard's foreign policy views, particularly her criticism of U.S. military interventions, have been both praised and condemned, shaping her reputation as a maverick within the Democratic Party. The confirmation process. Nomination announcement. The announcement of Gabbard's nomination for a significant government position was met with a mix of enthusiasm and skepticism. Her bipartisan appeal was notable, with many Democrats and some Republicans expressing support for her confirmation. This backdrop set the stage for what many expected to be a straightforward confirmation process. Confirmation hearing. During the Senate confirmation hearing, Gabbard faced questions from both sides of the aisle. Her responses reflected a nuanced understanding of key issues, earning her praise from many GOP members. Reports indicated that she received overwhelming support, suggesting that her past criticisms of the establishment did not overshadow her qualifications. McConnell's opposition. Despite the bipartisan support for Gabbard, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell stood out as the sole dissenting voice. His no vote raised eyebrows and prompted speculation about his motivations. Reasons for McConnell's no vote. 1. Foreign policy concerns. McConnell's opposition primarily stemmed from Gabbard's controversial foreign policy positions. He has long advocated for a strong military presence globally and has criticized any form of isolationism. Gabbard's history of critiquing U.S. military interventions, including her stance against the Syrian conflict, placed her at odds with McConnell's views. 2. Ideological divisions within the GOP. McConnell's vote is indicative of the ideological rifts within the Republican Party. His dissent signals a desire to maintain traditional Republican values and a hardline stance on foreign policy, particularly at a time when some party members are leaning towards more isolationist views. 3. Strategic positioning. Analysts suggest that McConnell's no vote may be a strategic move to consolidate power within the party and to set a precedent against candidates who diverge from mainstream Republican ideology. By opposing Gabbard, he communicates to the party base the importance of unity on critical issues. Implications of McConnell's vote. Political ramifications for Gabbard. McConnell's opposition could have several implications for Gabbard, both immediate and long-term. 1. Increased scrutiny. As a result of McConnell's dissent, Gabbard may face heightened scrutiny from more conservative factions within the GOP and possibly from her own party. This scrutiny could impact her effectiveness in the new role, making her more vulnerable to criticism. 2. Future political aspirations. McConnell's vote may also affect Gabbard's political future. While she has shown an ability to appeal across party lines, the backlash from a high-profile Republican such as McConnell could hinder her ambitions for future electoral office or influence her positioning within the Democratic Party. Broader implications for the Republican Party. 1. Reaffirmation of traditional values. McConnell's stance reaffirms a commitment to traditional Republican values, particularly regarding military engagement and foreign policy. This could serve as a rallying cry for party members who may feel disillusioned by more progressive elements within the party. 2. Potential for increased polarization. McConnell's lone opposition highlights the ongoing polarization within American politics. As factions within both parties continue to diverge ideologically, instances like this may become more common. Complicating bipartisan cooperation in the Senate. 3. Impact on future nominations. The implications of McConnell's vote extend beyond Gabbard's confirmation. It may set a precedent for future nominations, particularly for candidates whose views diverge from established party lines. This could lead to more contentious confirmation processes as party members seek to draw clearer ideological boundaries. Conclusion. Mitch McConnell's lone opposition to Tulsi Gabbard's confirmation serves as a significant moment in the current political landscape, reflective of deeper ideological divides within the Republican Party. While Gabbard's bipartisan support during her confirmation process illustrates her ability to appeal to a wide range of voters, McConnell's dissent underscores the challenges she may face in her new role. The implications of this vote resonate beyond the immediate context, influencing future political alignments and debates within the Senate. As the Republican Party continues to grapple with its identity and direction, McConnell's strategic positioning may serve as a bellwether for the party's future trajectory. Mitch McConnell's no vote against Tulsi Gabbard's confirmation has unveiled intriguing dynamics within the Republican Party, particularly concerning foreign policy and ideological cohesion. While Gabbard received widespread bipartisan support, McConnell's singular dissent raises questions about his motivations and the implications for the party's future direction. One of the key counterintuitive aspects of McConnell's opposition is that it occurred despite a strong consensus among his party members who largely supported Gabbard's nomination. This contradiction suggests that McConnell's vote was not merely a personal stance but may also serve as a strategic maneuver to delineate boundaries within the GOP. By opposing Gabbard, he could be signaling a commitment to traditional Republican values, particularly regarding foreign policy, that may be at odds with Gabbard's more isolationist tendencies. Another noteworthy point is the perception of Gabbard as a unifying figure versus a polarizing one. While many sources emphasize her bipartisan appeal, McConnell's opposition illustrates that not all party members view her through the same lens. This divergence in perspective underscores the complex nature of party dynamics, where a figure like Gabbard can simultaneously attract broad support and provoke significant dissent depending on the ideological leanings of party members. Furthermore, McConnell's decision to oppose Gabbard could reflect a deeper concern about the ideological divide within the GOP. As the party grapples with varying views on foreign intervention and military engagement, McConnell's no vote might be a strategic effort to consolidate traditional Republican viewpoints and push back against more progressive or isolationist sentiments. This move could serve as a rallying cry for those who still align with the party's historical hawkish stance on military matters, thereby influencing future candidate endorsements and policy discussions. The implications of McConnell's vote extend beyond this singular confirmation. It may foreshadow deeper ideological battles within the Republican Party, particularly as it prepares for future elections where foreign policy is likely to be a contentious issue. McConnell's dissent could galvanize those in the party who favor a return to a more traditional Republican approach, potentially shaping the landscape of party unity and candidate selection in the coming years. In summary, McConnell's lone opposition to Tulsi Gabbard's confirmation serves as a significant indicator of the ongoing tensions within the Republican Party regarding foreign policy. His vote not only reflects personal convictions but also acts as a strategic signal about the need for ideological cohesion amidst a shifting political landscape. The nuances surrounding Gabbard's appeal and McConnell's dissent reveal the complexities of party dynamics where bipartisan support can coexist with stark opposition, highlighting the challenges the GOP faces as it navigates its future direction. Mitch McConnell's lone opposition to Tulsi Gabbard's confirmation is a critical event that encapsulates the current ideological fractures within the Republican Party, particularly concerning foreign policy. While many reports have focused on the bipartisan support Gabbard received, McConnell's dissent is often viewed as a minor detail. However, this perspective overlooks significant implications regarding party dynamics' ideological purity. and the future of political alignments. 1. McConnell's strategic positioning. McConnell's no vote is not just an expression of personal conviction, it serves as a strategic signal to the Republican Party regarding the importance of maintaining a coherent ideological stance on foreign policy. His concerns about Gabbard's past criticisms of U.S. military interventions reflect a broader apprehension within the GOP about the rise of isolationist sentiments and a more progressive approach to foreign policy that Gabbard embodies. By opposing her confirmation, McConnell aims to reinforce traditional Republican values centered around a strong military and active international engagement. This action could be seen as an attempt to guard against the potential normalization of more isolationist viewpoints within the party, particularly as a younger, more diverse generation of Republicans begins to rise. 2. Implications for party unity. The significance of McConnell's lone dissent lies in its implications for party unity moving forward. In an era where the Republican Party faces increasing schisms between establishment figures and more populist isolationist factions, McConnell's vote underscores the ongoing struggle for ideological coherence. His opposition may serve as a rallying cry for traditionalists within the party, suggesting that any deviation from established foreign policy principles could lead to significant political consequences. It raises questions about how the GOP will navigate its internal divisions in the future, especially as it prepares for upcoming elections where these ideological battles could be pivotal. 3. Gabbard as a polarizing figure. Gabbard's confirmation hearing and McConnell's opposition also highlight her role as a polarizing figure within American politics. Despite her bipartisan appeal, her political history, particularly her stances on military intervention and foreign policy, makes her a contentious candidate for many, especially within the Republican establishment. McConnell's vote serves to underscore the challenges she faces in bridging the divide between differing political ideologies. While some may view her as a unifying candidate, others see her positions as too radical or incompatible with traditional Republican values. This dichotomy is significant as it illustrates the broader tensions within the political landscape, particularly as the lines between traditional conservatism and newer, more progressive ideas continue to blur. 4. Broader political ramifications. McConnell's opposition may have ramifications that extend beyond Gabbard's confirmation. It reflects a conscious effort to delineate the Republican Party's stance on key issues, signaling to party members and constituents what is deemed acceptable within the GOP. This move could influence future nominations and the overall political climate, potentially discouraging candidates who lean toward more progressive or isolationist policies. By taking a stand against Gabbard, McConnell reinforces the notion that loyalty to traditional Republican values is expected and could shape the criteria for future appointments and endorsements. 5. The role of media narratives. Media narratives around McConnell's vote often focus on the bipartisan support Gabbard received, which, while important, may obscure the deeper ideological implications of McConnell's dissent. By framing McConnell's opposition as an outlier, there is a risk of downplaying the significance of his actions in the broader context of party dynamics. The emphasis on bipartisanship can overshadow the critical conversations about ideological purity, the future direction of the GOP, and the challenges that candidates like Gabbard face in an evolving political landscape. Conclusion. Mitch McConnell's lone opposition to Tulsi Gabbard's confirmation is emblematic of the broader ideological struggles within the Republican Party. It highlights the tension between traditional conservatism and emerging progressive sentiments, particularly regarding foreign policy. As the GOP navigates its internal divides, McConnell's dissent serves as a strategic maneuver to maintain a cohesive ideological framework while sending a clear message about the expectations for party members. This moment is significant not only for understanding the dynamics surrounding Gabbard's confirmation but also for anticipating the future trajectory of the Republican Party in an increasingly polarized political environment. 1. Bipartisan support for Gabbard. The overwhelming bipartisan support for Tulsi Gabbard during her confirmation hearing is a critical point for analysis. This support indicates her ability to appeal across party lines, which could have significant implications for her effectiveness in the proposed government role and for future political dynamics in the Senate. Understanding the reasons behind this support can provide insights into current political trends and voter sentiments, particularly regarding issues of unity and collaboration in a polarized political environment. 2. A McConnell's strategic opposition. Mitch McConnell's decision to cast the only no vote against Gabbard highlights a strategic maneuver within the Republican Party, particularly regarding foreign policy. His opposition reflects a desire to uphold traditional Republican values in the face of emerging isolationist and progressive factions. Analyzing McConnell's motivations can shed light on the internal conflicts within the GOP and the potential ramifications for party cohesion and identity moving forward. 3. Political ramifications of McConnell's vote. The implications of McConnell's lone dissent extend beyond Gabbard's confirmation. His vote serves as a signal to other party members about the importance of maintaining a hardline stance on foreign policy issues, especially concerning military interventions. This point invites a deeper examination of how such individual votes can influence broader legislative agendas, party alignment, and the political landscape, potentially impacting future nominations and policy decisions. 4. Divided perspectives on Gabbard's political history. The differing editorial perspectives on Tulsi Gabbard's political history and her confirmation add another layer to the discussion. Some portray her as a unifying figure capable of bridging divides, while others frame her as a polarizing presence due to her controversial positions. This divergence invites analysis of how political narratives are constructed in media and how they influence public perception, party loyalty, and the potential for bipartisan cooperation in an increasingly fragmented political climate. 1. The confirmation of John Roberts. 2005. In 2005, John Roberts was nominated by President George W. Bush to the Supreme Court. His confirmation process was marked by a strong bipartisan interest, but ultimately he faced opposition from some senators who questioned his judicial philosophy and past rulings. Notably, Senator Ted Kennedy led the charge against Roberts' confirmation, arguing that his views on civil rights and abortion rights were too conservative. Despite this opposition, Roberts was confirmed with a vote of 78 to 22. This case illustrates how a lone voice of dissent against a broadly supported nominee can still be influential in shaping public discourse around judicial appointments. 2. The Senate confirmation of Elena Kagan. 2010. Elena Kagan's nomination to the Supreme Court was another instance where political dynamics played a significant role. After serving as Solicitor General and Dean of Harvard Law School, Kagan faced a challenging confirmation process. While she received support from many Democrats, some Republicans opposed her nomination primarily due to concerns regarding her views on campaign finance and her lack of judicial experience. Senator Mitch McConnell was among those who expressed reservations. Despite this, Kagan was confirmed with a vote of 63 to 37. This case highlights how partisan divisions in the Senate can impact confirmation votes, particularly when a nominee has a background that some senators find controversial. 3. The opposition to Robert Bork. 1987. The nomination of Robert Bork to the Supreme Court by President Ronald Reagan in 1987 serves as a historical parallel to McConnell's lone opposition to Gabbard. Bork's nomination was met with fierce resistance from Democrats and even some Republicans who raised concerns about his judicial philosophy, particularly regarding civil rights and privacy. The opposition was led by Senator Ted Kennedy, who famously stated that Bork's confirmation would take us back to a darker age. Ultimately, Bork was rejected by the Senate with a vote of 58 to 42. Marking a significant moment in the politicization of Supreme Court nominations. This case underscores how a single dissenting voice can galvanize broader opposition and reshape the narrative surrounding a nominee's qualifications. Future outlook. Predictions for political dynamics following McConnell's opposition to Gabbard. Mitch McConnell's unique no vote against Tulsi Gabbard's confirmation has created ripples within the political landscape, especially concerning the ideological divides within the Republican Party. As the implications of this event unfold, several predictions can be made regarding the future political dynamics and their potential consequences. 1. Strengthening of party factions. McConnell's dissent is likely to accentuate existing factions within the GOP. The traditional hawkish wing, which prioritizes strong military intervention and robust foreign policy, may rally around McConnell's stance, further alienating more isolationist or progressive elements represented by figures like Gabbard. This division could lead to a more pronounced struggle for the party's identity, influencing candidate selection and policy priorities in upcoming elections. 2. Impact on bipartisan cooperation. Gabbard's bipartisan support during her confirmation highlights a growing trend of cross-party collaboration on certain issues. However, McConnell's lone opposition may serve as a cautionary tale that could deter future bipartisan efforts, particularly on foreign policy. Lawmakers may become more hesitant to support candidates with unorthodox views, fearing backlash from party leadership, leading to a more polarized environment in the Senate. 3. Repercussions for Gabbard in future nominations. While Gabbard's confirmation indicates her appeal, McConnell's opposition may embolden future Republican senators to question nominees who deviate from traditional party lines, especially on sensitive issues like foreign policy. This could create challenges for Gabbard and others with similar political profiles in securing future nominations for government roles, as party loyalty may take precedence over individual qualifications. 4. Shifting voter dynamics. Gabbard's ability to attract bipartisan support suggests a potential shift in voter dynamics, especially among independent and moderate voters disillusioned by extreme partisanship. If Gabbard continues to position herself as a unifying figure, she may gain traction in future electoral races, possibly leading to more candidates emerging with similar centrist platforms. This could challenge the dominance of extreme factions within both major parties. 5. Strategic electoral campaigns. McConnell's opposition may prompt Republican candidates to adopt a more hardline approach on foreign policy, particularly in primary elections. Candidates who align closely with McConnell's vision may be favored, potentially sidelining more moderate voices within the party. This could reshape the electoral landscape, influencing not only candidate platforms but also voter turnout and engagement strategies. 6. Increased focus on foreign policy debates. As McConnell's vote signifies a clear stance on foreign policy, future Senate sessions may witness intensified debates around military interventions and international relations. This could lead to a more structured discourse on these matters, influencing legislation and funding decisions in defense and foreign aid. 7. Long-term implications for GOP leadership. McConnell's opposition could serve as a litmus test for future GOP leaders. Those who align with his approach may gain favor, while those who stray towards more progressive or isolationist views may find it increasingly difficult to ascend to leadership positions. This could solidify a generational divide within the party, affecting its strategic direction for years to come. 8. Potential for new political alliances. The current political climate may give rise to new coalitions that transcend traditional party lines. As both parties grapple with internal divisions, we may see the emergence of alliances focused on specific issues such as foreign policy reform, civil liberties, or economic equity. These alliances could reshape legislative priorities and challenge the status quo in Congress. Conclusion. In summary, Mitch McConnell's lone opposition to Tulsi Gabbard's confirmation is not merely an isolated incident but a reflection of deeper ideological currents within the Republican Party and the broader political landscape. The implications of this vote are likely to reverberate through future electoral cycles, party dynamics, and policy debates, setting the stage for an evolving political environment characterized by increased factionalism, shifting voter preferences, and potential new alliances.
As these dynamics unfold,
both parties will need to navigate the complexities of their internal divisions while appealing to an increasingly diverse electorate.